So if I compare what Polymorphic Games does to other game studios, the whole thing that makes us unique is the evolutionary component. So we have this tagline that is evolution always wins. We're unique because we're in this university setting, so we have expertise, scientists who actually study evolution who are making these things. The studio, really what it's about is the student experience. This is Kirsten. She's already got an accounting degree from the U of I. She's, I think I would call her the lead on our business team. We have 3 students from the business college who are in charge of our marketing, developing a business model and a business plan for Polymorphic Games.
Right now I'm collecting data and our research information and putting it into one big document so that we can put together our business model for our competitions that are coming up.
Barry Robinson can sort of tell you how he got started, but he's basically an evolutionary biologist and came to me with the idea of let's make real games, sort of fun video games that use evolution. And so it was a collaborative process. Our current project is a game called Darwin's Demons. It's sort of a classic arcade shooter type game where you have a little spaceship and you're shooting aliens. But the key is, where in a normal game you get waves of aliens that get harder over time because they speed up or some programmed feature. In our game, each wave is really a generation and the aliens evolve. So from generation to generation, they're evolving. And we're gonna release it Sunday, February 12th. At least that's the goal on Steam.
And then over here is Landon. He's from Virtual Technology and Design. I would say right now he's kind of serving as our lead designer. So he develops lots and lots of digital assets, 3D and 2D digital assets for our games.
So right now I'm just kind of making sure that some of these things that are newer are working the way that they should be.
Obviously there's fun, right? Ooh, yay, I'm working on a video game, and that's great, but it's not the point. The idea is it's this interdisciplinary environment that takes them out of their little classrooms where they all sit beside majors that are like them, and they have to talk with each other from everywhere from business to art to science, engineering. We have theater students involved, all of those kinds of things, music. And it's much more of a microcosm of how the actual world works. This is Tom. He's what I call a prototyper. So our next game is a much more ambitious game compared to Darwin's Demons, and Tom's job is to work out some of the kinks in our plan before we really devote a lot of development effort to that.
I work on the rapid prototyping, like Barry said, just building really quick, dirty models of things that we want to build in later game and seeing how quickly they run, if they're even fun, if we can really work evolution into that. And right now I'm putting a few thousand things on screen and seeing how slow my computer will go.
And then the folks that aren't here, Terry and I sit over here and do science and engineering and all of that kind of stuff. Terry teaches courses like artificial intelligence and bioinformatics and things like that. I teach courses like genetics and genomics and things like that. We try to make this a fun space, right? Meaning you should be able to have fun. Right here, Sam isn't here yet. She's our lead programmer. She's in computer science. And she does all of the scripting and programming for all of our games right now. We're going to probably hire a second computer scientist very soon, though. And she's awesome. Everybody's awesome. Over here would be our illustrator. This would be Emily. She does a lot of 2D art illustration, those kinds of concept art, that kind of stuff. The splash screens and things that you see up on the walls are a lot of Emily's work. We have a theater student who's helping us with some narration and voice work. Another student who's good with videos, who's developing trailers and things like that for us. The coolest part of the whole space is the fact that we're in this building and I can go just around the corner and talk to biological engineers, other virtual technology and design people who are working on virtual reality spinal columns and things like that. Our workflows intersect, our technology intersects, that kind of stuff, and they maybe have solved the problem that we're running into.
On a movie, maybe I'd be the production manager, so I sort of try and make sure that things keep running. So in terms of, for example, Darwin's Demons, I was most involved in the early design process, sort of deciding what the game would look like, and then handed it off to the programmers and the musicians and the artists to actually create it. and then also do a lot of work on the research side. So part of the university, we have to do research, and part of it is things like showing that evolution actually does take place in the game. My research has always been in evolutionary computation, which is the idea of creating models of evolution and using them sort of from an engineering perspective to solve problems, so trying to evolve solutions to problems. Our plan is to sort of make it a sustainable studio. So our goal is to try and roll out a fairly simple game each year, and then use the funds from each game to sort of fund the next game the next year. And so we're hiring mostly undergrads, some graduate students, but mostly undergrads, do a lot of the work, so it becomes a collaborative, very interdisciplinary operation.